What's happening, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I just wanted to release a quick video about the background of where this channel is coming from and what to be expecting from it. We're not going to be saying this is right, this is wrong, this is that. We're just looking for straight facts. And that's so that we can, as people, base our decisions in the best interest of what we're wanting to do. This misinformation and misleading people, all of this, or this religion is better than this religion, or this or that. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think it's living with integrity, having to be better than somebody else because of this, or because of a high paying job, or because I grew up on this street and you didn't, or people are funny nowadays, but I don't believe in that stuff. And so the mission behind all of this is just, in a world of misinformation, try to help people get the right information, the correct, the factual information, so that they can base these life decisions that are hugely impacting their lives as best as they can, whether the odds are in their favor or not. It's easier to know what you're up against instead of getting lied to or this or that. And so for a little while now, I've been trying to figure out how to simplify this mission coming from this channel. And the most simplest form I could put it in is just what it is. Just live right, period. I believe that there's something coming. I know that there's something coming at the end of the day when death hits, whether it be heaven or reincarnation or this or that. And in my belief, I just feel like if you're living right, then at the end of the day, you should feel comfortable being judged, if that makes sense. There's so much things that we're going to talk about and that are capable of talking about, and I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are sometimes too, and or events or topics that you guys maybe want me to cover, because it can go from current events to reactions to breakdowns to investigating questionable topics, researching, learning. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you that I've learned in the world that boils down to psychology. Dang near every single thing is going to boil down to psychology now in today's world, because people have found out, been able to measure so much about why people do things, whether it be because of surveys or because of psychology or therapy or this or that, studies coming out, this, that. They're able to learn how humans work, how we feel, how we do this, how we talk, how everything. And so we'll go over stuff, whether it be good or bad, but the mission is to just try to find the correct information. And that's why I say maybe comment below sometimes a topic or an article or a source or a book or whatever it is that we're talking about in the video, so that we can maybe look into that, or maybe we might have gotten misinformed, or maybe we haven't covered a topic and you're going into the beauty industry, or and we might be able to dig in and find some stuff or find some truths about how it really is. We're not here to sugarcoat anything. Like, we're here just for what reality really is. And so I believe that we'll be looking at good things and bad things. But what I tend to, how I live and how I feel comfortable being judged at the end of the day, is by treating humans good. So we're going to try to find a lot of references to that, or people with integrity, or speaking about integrity, this, that. Not just speaking about it, but living it, or maybe exposing that they're living a false message they're trying to push, whatever it may be. But we're trying to look for transparency, and that's something that I like to carry, and I feel like coincides with integrity, because I'll be transparent about whatever we're talking about, whatever the topic is. You guys can ask me to do a deep dive into casinos or into my music experience in the music industry and what's going on or what has happened. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to be what's up, because somebody listening might be listening to this video or that video and hear music, oh, this is the way. But deep down, I can do a breakdown of what it really is and hopefully help you make that decision of whether you want to jump into that or not. A lot of decisions I've made have been bad, and I wish I had that out there, or at least a trusted source to be able to say what it really is, because it's not fair. This stuff, when narcissists and manipulators are doing this, when they have ulterior motives and whatnot, they're telling a person to do this when really it's for this person to do this, or you guys know how it works, and we'll be breaking it down a whole lot more, but it's just pure evil at its evilest form. So when you're living right and you're able to at least know the odds, or at least know this or that, you can feel your judgment at the end of the day. You could feel comfortable about it, or you could feel not comfortable about it, and know that you got to be changing, because we all got a moral compass, and we all have morals and a conscience, and at least I do. And so I like to surround me with people that also have that same moral compass, or dang near that same moral compass, because it all comes down to beliefs in this world, and what we stand for, and what we do with it, what we do with the life and the hand that we're dealt, whether it's a good hand, a bad hand, or warm or a cold dish. But I believe that you just have to know who you're around, and your surroundings, what you're around, what you're standing for, what you're doing on your life path, or what your goal is. You got to know why. Why are you here? And who is really here for you, or whatnot? What are their ulterior motives? How transparent are they? Are they this person in front of this person, but they can't talk about it in front of this person? They're creating false realities that they're living in, these little pockets of false reality that they're living vicariously through other people, and creating drama. And it's, I think it stems into the bullying and stuff. Like I said, we'll be going over psychology a lot on this channel. And I don't know everything, but we'll be learning a lot together. And so when the people around you that are they represent you. They represent your energy, they represent your paradigm about what's going on in your life, the energy flowing, whether it's good or bad, because they're bringing that energy from that false reality of that lie into your actual reality. So that energy is pushing on that side of the spectrum, and it's not good. And whether they're lying to you, or lying to this other person, or this or that, or they're not telling the whole truth here, it's messing up the energy, and it's messing up the integrity of your whole household, or your whole home, or your whole circle, whatever you want to call it. It's not good. And so I tell my kids, and we live like this as a household, if you can't tell your story, or if you can't stand on it in any room, then you were in the wrong. Like, you shouldn't have been doing that. Then whatever it was that you can't say in front of this person, you shouldn't have been doing it. And in the big scope of things, I say any room, courtroom, doctors, I say, and the big room is the afterlife, because you don't know when death is coming and whatnot. So you're not going to be able to change anything after that, or say, oh, this, that. No, because the afterlife knows. And so that's going to be a room for all of us one day, is the afterlife. And we're going to have to stand there and think about what we did, or explain what we did, or just be accepted and understood. And that's where I feel like my strong belief is being felt and understood for living right with integrity, and doing this and doing that, doing whatever it is. And you know, people do right or wrong all the time, but it's what you do after the wrong, how long you continue to do the right, the reasons why you're doing the right. Because if you're doing this for an ulterior motive, like we're talking about with narcissism or manipulation, then you're not really doing it for the good. You're doing it for the limelight, or you're doing it for to be able to take a picture, or you're doing it for this or that. And like, so you're not really doing it to help the other person or the other situation, whatever it may be. And so I say that we've all done things that maybe we wouldn't like to admit today, or whatever it may be. But the fact is, in living right and integrity, is accepting what you've done, and being okay with it, and being able to be transparent about it, because this world is tricky, and who really knows? That's why we're trying to figure it out together. But transparency is where it gives it a stepping stone of what was bad to be able to be good, if that makes sense. Like, just being transparent about what you do, whatever it is. Like, I was glad I was able to find this example. It was actually today, but because I was having trouble finding, I don't want to point anybody out or names or anything. So I was going to reference the Joker. Like, our house and our circle tries to, not saying that the Joker, not justifying anything that the Joker does, not anything, but at least he just is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So if you're in a room, if you ever end up in a room with somebody, I would rather have the transparent person, the person that, okay, I know that this person is bad. I know he's fully accepting it and embracing it. So I don't, I wouldn't advise doing what he does. I'm not going to team up with what he would be doing, but I at least respect the fact that he respects me enough to be transparent about his operation. So then I know to either be friendly with this guy and, okay, now once we get out of this room, yeah, let's go have lunch and do this. Or you get what I'm saying? At least he has the respect to tell me what's really up, so then I know what I'm up against, or I know what the odds are. I don't think this is fair, people going around boasting and bragging or degrading when they know, like, they manipulated the situation for it to look like this, or for it to be like this, or for it to be perceived like this, at least. Because if you boil it all down, it's just psychological bullying sometimes. And so in a world full of snakes, I'd rather be in the room with the Joker, if that makes any sense in all of this. So anyways, going back to that example, I found this morning, and it just reminded me of the transparency. People don't always say what they did to make it there, or to make it here, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So I found this to be pretty cool. This guy, we all know him. His name's Papa John's. But anyways, I found this example. I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry. Of where he's just transparent, and I found it to be a cool story. And this is what I mean about respecting either the grind or whatever. I'm not saying to go and do what he said he did, but that day is done and dealt with now, and life goes on. What are we going to do now? Where is this going to go now? How is this going to affect my life decisions now? Am I going to reflect on this like it was bad, or am I going to reflect on it and try to do better? So I'm going to pull this up real quick. Here we go. Papa John's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really a story and a half ranch.
Wow. I heard a very interesting story that you were dumpster diving for receipts outside of Domino's. Could you tell us about that?
We just couldn't get the word out.
See?
And even when we put a sign on the door, people didn't know about Papa John's, and we didn't have enough money for marketing. Every night Domino's would throw all their customer list, their deli sheets in the dumpster, and we would climb in the dumpster at 1 or 2, and then the next day I'd send a letter to the customer, because I already now knew they ordered. I knew they ordered at home. I knew they knew what home delivery was all about. So, hey, we're a new kid on the block. We make a better pizza. Here's a half price. And that worked really well.
Why do you have honey here?
Because I have my own garden. We have my own farm.
I bet it did. I bet it did work good. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, at least he's being transparent. I'm not saying go and steal other businesses' receipts. I'm not saying this or that, but at least he's honest about his upcoming and upbringing and really how he did that. And I don't know if you guys understand that little short tidbit, but he finessed his competitors' customers. Really. He had worked at a Domino's prior, so he knew that at the end of the day, at checkout time, they had to have proof of their log, and then they threw it into the same bin every single day. So that bag of trash that went out to the dumpster, he knew that it went out at 11 o'clock. So him and his couple friends went and found those at a couple different Domino's, got the customer name with the addresses, and then sent them the half-off pizza with a new pizza place in town. Then booming, you know what I mean? And so some of those things are cool. Not saying that's a gem or to go and do that, but I'm just saying you don't find a lot of people nowadays that are just honest and say what's really up to everybody in the room. So that's where we're coming from with this channel. And yeah, talking about Papa John, I just want to say I do not advise doing that in any means, but when you go after other people's customers, make sure it's not a federal side or a state business or a federal business. And I'm not just meaning that in like 420. I'm meaning that in any sense. In any. I'm telling you, I can do a whole video about this if you guys want to. Let me know in the comments. But we own this little kayak rental business a couple years ago, and we didn't have an office or nothing. I drew up a better business plan for the people, a cheaper business plan for the people, and they weren't they weren't getting any money off of it. Our prices were half as priced. And it was easier on the customer. We delivered right to their lake spot, wherever their picnic was, wherever their beach spot was, wherever they wanted the kayaks, we delivered it. And like took 1 month of that, and yeah, I wish I could say my 1,500 turned to 5.5 billion like Papa John, but not when your competitors are those guys. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys are feeling in the comments, or maybe if I can explain something better, if I could show something better, or first topic, second topic, the next topic, whatever it is you guys are thinking. Just let me know, and I hope everyone stays safe and whatnot. Just live right. Period.